It's been a long time since we've heard anything from the Ton, and we're getting impatient now. While season 3 of the beloved show has been in production for a while and is set to be wrapped up by December, no news regarding the release date has been shared yet. We've got our fingers crossed for a spring 2023 release, but until then, we'll share some fun BTS details from the cast. Starting from the resident Brown Girls' first meeting with the cast, Simone Ashley and Charithar Chandran's first encounter with the cast was during a party scene, and everyone was there. Being newbies in season 2, it must have been overwhelming for the actresses to meet all the cast at once, and Chandran even called it a baptism of fire. On the upside, at least they got familiar with everyone in the initial stage, and it won't come as a surprise to know that many of their castmates slid into their DMs afterward, as Simone Ashley graciously shared with BuzzFeed. Next up, Bridgerton creator's basement was essential to season 2. The brains behind the period drama, Chris Van Dusen, edited most of the show's second season in his basement. He made it a point to comment that his basement isn't exactly a fancy studio and that his #1 source of approval for the orchestral pop covers was his toddlers. Now for Simone Ashley's favorite partner on set. One thing Simone and Kate have in common is their love for dogs. The education actress would bring her dog to the set every so often. The creator shared that he'd seen her around cuddling with her sweet pup whenever she could. Speaking of which, Sharma's corgi was a diva. Newton was one of the most lovable stars of season 2. But what the fans didn't know is that he wasn't the easiest to work with. Van Dusen shared that it took extra effort in the form of creative techniques and ADR to make the corgi's scenes look perfect. Some of the scenes had his growls and barks edited in as well. The diva got along well with Simone. She was his favorite person, and he'd only listen to her. But that doesn't mean the other cast members didn't like him. Jonathan Bailey admitted that the corgi was difficult to work with, but the actor appreciated the dog's character and said he'd anticipate his future work. Not to mention the time he passed out from eating too many pebbles. Not only was Newton a total diva on set, but he also enjoyed eating pebbles. During an outdoor scene from episode 3, there were pebbles on the floor that he kept gobbling up. He ate so many of them that eventually he passed out. Bailey joked that the dog's favorite snacks were pebbles and sausages and that he'd have them brought to his trailer at all times. Jonathan Bailey had an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction on set. While the girls' costume with their tight corsets and heavy ball gowns were quite difficult to deal with, the boys had their fair share of trouble too. Their outfits were so tight in certain places that the plimsolls that Johnny was wearing tore away at the crotch during a certain fencing scene. The actor shared his feelings regarding the experience. He said, "I was suddenly aware all these people were watching me and I just screamed, 'This is so embarrassing.'" We wonder how people in the 19th century existed in these elaborate and fitted clothes. What's more, it takes effort to exist in the costumes. According to Golda Rochevelle, certain guidelines must be followed if one needs to wear corseted dresses. While she enjoys being double corseted, Rochevelle swore by training regularly to build up stamina and staying hydrated by drinking a lot of water while in costume. However, Simone Ashley's been on the short end of the stick with the wardrobe. Unfortunately, Queen Charlotte's wisdom wasn't around when Simone was donning Kate Sharma's corsets. The 27-year-old actress thought it best to eat a lot to keep herself energized through her first day of filming. She was unaware of how that would turn out, as full stomachs are a big no-no for corsets. After throwing up her serving of salmon, she realized that you just don't eat when you wear the corset. In conversation with Glamour, she also revealed that she probably tore her shoulder at one point due to the pain she experienced while wearing the corset. Up next, the clown on set is our favorite Viscount. As his co-star and on-screen love interest Simone Ashley shared in an interview, Johnny was the most likely to burst out laughing during takes. Not only did he make himself laugh, but anyone shooting scenes with him would also have difficulty keeping a straight face. He's just that charming on-screen and off-screen. Following up, Bessie Carter is all too familiar with the trials of dyeing hair. While Carter was lucky enough to be comfortable in her half-corseted gowns, she walked the difficult path of embodying a redhead despite herself not naturally being one. Since then, she's had to get root touch-ups every 2 weeks, which has been difficult. However, she loves the handbags that accompany her character's wardrobe and would love to go around on set showing them off to everyone. Let's learn more about the creator's ideation for the series. The novels by Julia Quinn focused on the lives of the Bridgerton family, and while that was Van Dusen's main inspiration for the series, he didn't want them to revolve entirely around one family. To add more depth and complexity to the plot, he built a world around them and added other characters. In his opinion, no adaptation will ever be exactly like the source material. There are bound to be differences, and in his defense, it made much more sense to make those additions. The showrunner wants Bridgerton to be exciting and unpredictable for its viewers. He shared that he wasn't hesitant about introducing difficulties and horrific circumstances into the lives of his characters, as that is what creates engaging entertainment. Coming up, Golda Rosheuvel enjoyed embodying Queen Charlotte in Season 2. Van Diesen's writing stays true to his words as the Dune actress appreciated the complexity of her character. Rather than creating a typical one-dimensional queen whose life revolves around wearing fancy gowns and wigs, he added layers and personality to Queen Charlotte. Rosheuvel was also excited to engage in the character's complicated relationship with her husband, the King, who was also going through a difficult time, as it helped her explore the Queen's vulnerable side. Moving on, Simone found Kate a very likable character to portray. The Detective Pikachu actress enjoyed playing Kate Sharma as she found her to possess qualities that she generally appreciates in people. The Viscountess is a reserved person. She takes her time to trust people before letting them in. Simone says that quality makes someone interesting, as you have to work to earn their trust before they open up to you. Since she appreciated that trait, she enjoyed having the opportunity to portray it. Additionally, she also learned a lot from becoming Kate. By embodying a mature and headstrong woman, Simone learned to lose her people-pleasing tendencies. The actress empowered herself by learning to speak her truth the way Kate taught her. That said, in Johnny's case, he was able to relate his character more. Both the character and actor come from big families, and despite being the youngest in his family, Johnny related to the selflessness Anthony felt regarding others. He felt he could understand where the Viscount was coming from when he'd put others before himself. But he also grew by sharing Anthony's experiences this past season. According to the heartthrob, his character is stubborn, but he's been through difficult times which have isolated him. Fortunately, we saw a change in him this season as he focused more on putting himself before others. The actor enjoyed embodying his change as well as growing from it. What's more, he was relieved to be out of the spotlight after the season ended. While the crashing actor didn't mind being the main character in the second season, he was still glad when it ended. Stepping into Phoebe's shoes wasn't exactly difficult, as he'd had much support from the cast and crew. On top of that, he just shot Drag Race UK versus the World straight out of COVID when he found sitting next to RuPaul much more intense. The actor ended the season feeling content and was happy to pass the baton to someone else. As we know, someone else is Nicola Coughlan, and Luke Newton will play her complicated love interest. Lastly, the main female lead didn't even find period dramas interesting. Simone Ashley undoubtedly stole everyone's heart. After appearing as Kate Sharma, she embodied the grace of a 19th century woman so well you'd be surprised to know that she'd never actually watched period dramas before Bridgerton. And that's all for this video, guys. Which BTS moment was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.